welcome to a special edition of Orange Vibes, where we bring you updates on the activities during the AU Youth Envoy's visits to Ghana. On today's episode, we will take you through the various activities that happened during the visits. The first activity was a town hall meeting with young people. As part of her first engagement with the youth in Ghana, inspired by her interest to learn and be informed about the aspirations, questions, and status of the youth of Africa, the Office of the AU Youth Envoy, led by Ms. Chido Mpemba, and the UNFPA Ghana Country Office hosted a town hall meeting where the Youth Envoy had the opportunity to interact with about 100 Ghanaian youth, including student leaders, youth in politics, youth advocates for the environment and climate change, among others. In his opening remarks during the event, UNFPA Ghana representative Mr. Barnabas Issa highlighted the importance of the youth as the future leaders for tomorrow's future. Hence, the UNFPA's continuous support to the government of Ghana in ensuring the youth in Ghana reach their full potential. The next stop on her visit was the Agbogbloshie Market. UNFPA Ghana organized field visits for the AU Youth Envoy and her team to get first-hand knowledge of the development interventions targeted at marginalized girls, often referred to locally as KAI. The visit was to showcase how the needs of these vulnerable young women are being addressed through various interventions. Speaking at the visits, Executive Director of PAID, Reverend Aku Honam Kevi, gave an overview of UNFPA's approach to use in reducing the vulnerabilities of KAI girls to sexual and gender-based violence, which includes paralegal training, which enables some of the girls to serve as forces of protection while assisting the girls to report cases of violence and abuse to the relevant authorities. She also emphasized on how important it was for helping the girls to reduce their dependence on men and boys who violate and abuse them. Next was the visit to the PPHE Yenkasa call center. The AU Youth Envoy and her team also visited the Yenkasa Digital Contact Center for SRHR Information and Services, which is operated by the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, an implementing partner of UNFPA. During the visit, the operational procedures and functionalities of the contact center were explained to the envoy. She also had the opportunity to interact with the young contact center agents and counselors who serve as the bridge between callers and clients and service delivery points across the country. The youth programs officer at PPHE, who conducted the envoy's visits to the contact center, challenged the envoy to explore possibilities for similar services to be available to young people in other countries where access to SRHR services is challenged. Next, she paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf. At this meeting, the AU Youth Envoy briefed the Minister on the critical need to enhance collaboration between her office and the Office of the Minister of Youth and Sports. Honorable Mustafa Yusuf expressed his deepest congratulations and wishes of success to the envoy and also used the opportunity to shed light on a number of policies and programs that the government of Ghana had rolled out for the development and advancement of young people in Ghana, including the free senior high school policy and the Nation Builders Corps and the Accra Digital Center for building the capacity of young people in emerging technologies, among others. The AU Youth Envoy also had the opportunity to pay a courtesy call at the Embassy of Zimbabwe in Ghana. As a citizen of Zimbabwe, UNFPA arranged for the envoy to visit and share with the embassy the recent death of her mission to Ghana and to ensure her country's mission provided her all the courtesies that could be accorded her. The Deputy Ambassador of Zimbabwe to Ghana cordially received the AU Youth Envoy and her team together with some UNFPA staff and introduced the envoy to the work the mission was doing in Ghana, mainly in the areas of attracting investment to Zimbabwe in the context of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Ms. Mpemba encouraged the Zimbabwean mission in Ghana to work for the advancement of youth at the highest level to promote their meaningful participation in decision-making at all levels. Next, the AU Youth Envoy and her team also visited the Orange Loft, a youth innovation hub designed by UNFPA Ghana to hone the skills of young graduates in Ghana while equipping them with in-depth knowledge of UN operations and the larger sustainable development ecosystem. The space also allows for co-working and hosting events with state-of-the-art facilities adapted to be youthful and to enable the fellows to be highly productive. The session with the UNFPA yearly fellows took the form of a Q&A, which allowed for mutual dialogue on a variety of youth-related issues. Ms. Mpemba also encouraged them to be interested in sharing ideas and making contributions towards the development of the African continent. Ms. Mpemba also commended UNFPA for making worthwhile investments in young people. The next stop on the tour was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The AA Youth Envoy and her team also made time to pay a courtesy call on the acting director of the Bureau of Regional Integration at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Abdullahi Haruna Al Hassan, to bring him up to speed on the 60 Days Listening Tour campaign. The AA Youth Envoy added that her office sought to have a commitment from the level of the presidency as Africa's champion on engaging financial institutions for young people to be active participants in the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area framework. Mr. Al Hassan appreciated the visit, congratulated Ms. Shido Mpemba over her appointment, and also pledged the support of the government of Ghana to assist in making her campaign a success. Finally, the tour ended with a debriefing at the UNFPA Ghana Country Office, where the AA Youth Envoy and her entourage and the management and team members of the country office went over the mission to see how things went. The UNFPA Country Representative AI, Mr. Barnabas Issa, commended the team for their patience and dedication and a sense of duty that made them visit the many people and places as prepared on the agenda. Mr. Issa also thanked the AA Youth Envoy for her visits and hoped that the objectives of the mission, which mainly involved getting input of young people as part of the learning tour, were achieved. Ms. Shido Mpemba, on behalf of her office, also thanked UNFPA for the coordination role the agency played in making the mission possible. Ms. Mpemba indicated that the team noted several highlights and key takeaways from the Youth Town Hall, which will guide further engagement with Africa's young people to inform policy making. Thank you for joining us on the special edition of Orange Vibes on the AA Youth Envoy's visits to Ghana. The full report is available for download on our website. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms to stay updated. Stay safe and see you later. Bye!